How's it going, guys? King of the fourth quarter here, and I'm back with another video. In this one, we're starting a MyLeague with the Chicago Bulls. You guys have been questioning it a lot. Actually, it's one of my most requested videos after I uploaded like 2 or 3 rant videos of me just talking about how bad of a position this Bulls team is. And since last night, they just dropped out of the playoff picture, I was like, you know what? It may be the perfect time for me to do some rebuilding on this team. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I tried to make every trade that I did realistic, something that both teams would do. So this first trade, I'm trying to pick up Victor Oladipo and Nikola Vucevic. I thought this was okay. I threw in a couple first round picks just because if you ask like Bud is another commentator that does this YouTube thing. He's been really upset with Victor Oladipo, and I think a couple other Magic fans are feeling the same way. He's not a piece that you can build around, so they want to move away from him. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we pick him up? I think he'd complement our offense pretty nicely. So here I tried a lot because I really wanted these two. You see all the different combination I'm trying to put together, but eventually I settled for one of their counter offers. I didn't think I gave up too much. I traded Pau Gasol because he's on the last year of his contract and he's getting up there in age. And so I thought it was perfect. Traded Taj, which I didn't really want to do too much, but if they wanted them and I was going to get these guys in return, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's worth it. So we executed that trade. So picking up Victor Oladipo, I decided to make Jimmy Butler into a small forward because right now I wanted Victor Oladipo to start. I'm not sure how I feel about that now after simulating a couple games. I may have Victor Oladipo come off the bench for the next episode and have Doug McDermott in the start lineup to move Jimmy Butler back to shooting guard. But I just thought that, you know what, Victor Oladipo's young. He has game. He definitely has game. So I decided to start him in the start lineup. And then right here, you see me looking at Nikola Vucevic's stats and everything because I traded for him and then I realized, oh snap, I still got Joakim Noah on this team. And I've talked about it in a couple videos. Joakim Noah is going to be on my team as long as he can. So I decided, and you'll see in a second, I decided to make Nikola Vucevic our starting small forward. He's 7 feet tall. He has an amazing mid-range. So I was like, you know what? I think he would fit into that small forward position. As soon as we did that, his overall actually jumped up about 2 points. So I was like, maybe that was a good idea. So I'm just trying to turn around some pieces. You see right here after the trade, we're looking at the rotation. I'm like, you know what? We're struggling, man. We don't have a backup center. We have some guys off the bench that could probably play. I looked at Bobby Portis for a minute, but Bobby Portis is a power forward. I tried to make him a center. His overall dropped a lot, more than I thought it would. So I was like, you know what? He's just going to be a power forward. And then I thought about a guy, if you watch my last video, a guy that I feel like is very unappreciated, very underutilized on his team. And I think he would bring a nice defensive edge to our bench. So right now we're trying to go out and trade for John Henson. One of the downsides to trying to trade for John Henson is the fact that his contract is pretty big. He got paid $44 million for 4 years, so he's making about $11 million a year. That's kind of big, but I think since he's still young, he will still progress, and eventually he'll be worth the money that they paid him. And you see, they tried to get Aaron Brooks for me, and I like Aaron Brooks a lot, so I decided to take him out of it. Threw in 2 second-round picks and Felicio, and I was like, that's a good trade because we got back Jared Bayless, and then we got Rashard Vaughn, who's like 19 years old, so he still has a lot of time to progress. So in this trade, we're actually getting younger, which is cool because that's one of the things I talked about in my videos about the Bulls, that it's time for us to go out of the direction of getting those nice, like hardened veterans and try to bring some youth to the team. And I think that's exactly what we did. So after making that trade, I think that was the final one we made. I'm looking at my team like we don't have great defensive players, but I think we can make it work. So we're going to simulate a couple games where we're going to simcast a couple games to see how it works out. Of course, after you make trades like this where you improve the team, or in this case, I don't know if we improved it, but we changed a lot of pieces, chemistry is going to suffer. So these first couple games, you're going to see our chemistry is about 36. 36% is really low. Or actually, it's 40 going against the Cavs. So 40 is still pretty low. And like, you know what? Maybe it'll grow. It'll definitely get higher as the season goes on. So this first game is against the Cavs, and it's a great way to start off the season because, as you guys know, the Cavs are one of the top teams in the league. As you can see, it's going down straight to the wire, man. It was a nice close game until we got about late in the third quarter. Then they kind of pulled away. I didn't really expect to win that game, honestly. Like I said, chemistry plays a big role in these games, and the Cavs have been together for 2 years now. We have pieces on this team that have never played together, so I wasn't too disappointed in losing this game. Lost by 19 points. That's pretty high. So I decided to simulate until we went against the Orlando Magic. We traded Pau Gasol to this team. I was like, you know what? Let's welcome Pau back and try to hand them an L. And that's exactly what we're going to do. You see, early in the game, we're up 30-16 in that first quarter, and we're not going to turn back at all. We're actually going to demolish this team. It's just kind of ridiculous how bad we beat them. But that was a nice little change of pace after losing a couple games. I was like, you know what? Maybe this team is something that's great. I think I actually did a pretty good job because all of the trades that I did make were kind of realistic in some points. You see the score 122-75, man. That was a great defensive game. Reminds me of the Thibodeau teams, but we put up 122 points, which is definitely not like the Thibodeau teams. So this last game, we're going against the Charlotte Hornets, who are 0-3. We're stepping in at 2-2. So we're trying to get over 500, and this will be the last game we simcast before the video is over. I want to bring this series every once in a while. If you guys haven't checked out my last 2 videos, it spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time trying to make those videos, and this one's a nice change of pace. It doesn't take as long as the other ones because I did a lot of research to make those videos. So if you haven't watched them, be sure to watch them, but still be expecting this every once in a while. You see we're up by almost 20, and I decided to jump in with 3 minutes left, but in those 3 minutes, I didn't really do anything. We didn't improve the score at all. So I was like, you know what? There was no highlights, so I cut right back to the end. But we did end up winning, of course, by over 20 points or about 20 points. And you see the box score. I think our team is solid. Nice, well-rounded team. Still don't know what I feel about Victor Oladipo in that starting lineup. Maybe in the next episode, we'll bring him off the bench and see if our team improves a little bit. But that's pretty much the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, as always, be sure to leave it a like. It's the king of the fourth quarter. Thanks so much for watching.